what you're ultimately implying, not you, but other people, is that Tyson Fury has asked someone to cut him open with a knife on his eye to avoid a fight.
So fans are well within their right
to question,
to doubt. There's no timestamp on that video. You don't know when that video was made.
I don't see how he got hit like that if, because the headgear will be thick enough to, before they hit you in your eyes, it hit the pads.
But I knew this fight would not happen, especially on the date it was being told to us it was going to happen.
What's putting doubts in my mind is that a week or 2 weeks prior to this incident, there was rumors that his sparring partner and Fury, he got put on his backside a few times.
Together?
A week later, it's then now a cut on the eye.
Yeah.
Then you start putting 2 and 2 and you're not getting 6 anymore. You're kind of getting 4.
Well, I can't believe I'm actually saying this, but the Tyson Fury Alexander Usyk fight is off. It's been 20 years since there was an undisputed heavyweight title fight, and we were just 2 weeks away from seeing it. And now we're getting the news that Tyson Fury isn't going to be able to fight because he got a cut over his eye in sparring. Then again, I guess, is it really that unbelievable? Do you really blame people for doubting Tyson Fury, given his track record? So there are a lot of people coming out and saying that they think that this is false. This is just the boy who cried wolf. This is Tyson Fury being Tyson Fury, figuring out a way to get out of a fight that he doesn't want to be in.
You have to have that fight. You have to have that fight. And if you don't, then you leave the door open for other people to take that mantle, especially when you've only had 6 world title fights, and 3 of those were against the same fella. And 2 of those were against people that you've beaten previously.
And look, the evidence is there to back it up. Like, he took the Francis Ngannou fight instead of the Alexander Usyk fight. He took that fight 6 weeks before he was scheduled to fight Usyk. I believe he knew full well that that was going to be the perfect excuse to not fight Usyk in December. Why else would you take the Ngannou fight? So anyway, here's the video that was apparently leaked of him getting cut in sparring. Who am I to say that this is fake? I'm not going to come out and say that this is a fake cut. But what I'm going to do is just play a bit of a devil's advocate for the people who are saying that this is fake. And I'm going to point out some things with this video, almost like a JFK video situation or a moon landing, where if you're a conspiracy theorist, these are the sorts of things you would be pointing at. And then you guys can make up your own mind whether or not you think this cut actually did occur during this sparring session, okay?
Oh, stop!
So number one, the video quality absolutely sucks. What are you filming this on? Is it an Android? Like, what are you doing, man? Also, Tyson looks a lot flabbier in this video than what he's been showing us on Instagram and the way he's been talking about being in great shape. There's also no timestamp on this video, so we have like zero idea when this was shot. The next thing that's weird is that Tyson yells out straight away that he was cut. I don't know how he knew he was cut. Maybe when you're a boxer and you've been in that many fights, you instinctively know when you've been cut right away. My other guess would be that there would be blood pouring down. So you would know that you've been cut. You would have blood pouring into your eye. The problem is in this video, there's no blood. You can't see any blood. He actually has white boxing gloves on and we can't see any blood. And the biggest thing is, why does the video cut out when it does? Like, if you're gonna leak a video of your fighter being cut during sparring, basically to prove that this isn't a fake injury, that it actually happened, why would you cut it out before showing the rest of the footage of him removing his, like, obviously right away he would have taken off his headgear and he would have had blood pouring down his eye, and that would have been enough for everybody to be like, oh, okay, clearly he got cut during this sparring session. It appears to be an elbow that got him. To me, and again, I'm just a layman who sits on the couch watching fights, it looks to me like he got hit on the chin. I don't know. It looks, the quality's just not good enough, basically. So the problem now is that a lot of people, including myself, are naturally wondering, is this fight ever actually going to happen now? Because it's been in the works for so long and so many things have happened where this fight hasn't taken place. It feels like we're going to run into the same issue as we did with Anthony Joshua and Deontay Wilder, where instead of getting them to fight each other, the absolute genius promoters decided to put them on the same card, fighting different opponents, in the hope that they would both just walk through their opponent and then we'd get this massive fight. Deontay Wilder didn't hold up his end of the bargain, got beaten, and that fight is ruined. I mean, it might happen one day down the road, but it's not going to mean shit. The big issue here is that if this cut is as serious as it looks, Tyson Fury is out for a long time. He's not going to be able to get into sparring for quite a while, and then you're going to have to go through training camp again. Like, I mean, what are we talking? Earliest August that this fight might happen? The problem is that Usyk holds 3 world titles. He is the WBA, WBO, and IBF champion. And that comes with mandatory title defenses. Alexander Usyk is going to have to fight somebody else while he's waiting for Tyson Fury. And look, I would back Alexander Usyk against most contenders, but there's a chance that somebody takes one of those belts off him and we potentially lose the opportunity to see this undisputed heavyweight title fight that we've all been waiting 20 years for. It also feels like a lot of people are ruling out like the possibility of Tyson Fury just retiring, and I personally think that's the most likely scenario. Let's just have a look at it. The guy is absolutely loaded with cash. He's made a ton of money through his career, and let's be real, how much money does a gypsy really need? I mean, like, his dad apparently still lives in the same trailer park. He is the self-proclaimed so-called lineal heavyweight champion of the world, and he's undefeated at 35 years of age. Is that not the perfect time to retire before you have to go out and beat this absolute lion, Alexander Usyk? Plus, the guy has like 11 kids and his own TV show. Like, is he really wanting to fight much longer? I personally think the craziest storyline that's actually coming out of this cancelled fight is that now, currently, the biggest scheduled boxing match in the world right now is Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua. That fight has massive implications. For one, if AJ makes light work of Francis Ngannou, that'll put the Fury fight into perspective, and everybody will look at Fury a lot differently. Like he got exposed for basically getting beaten by a novice. However, if Francis Ngannou comes out and somehow manages to beat AJ, he's next in line for the title fight. I mean, that's like a Cinderella story. This guy who went through all the shit he went through in his 20s trying to get to Europe, wanted to be a pro boxer, ended up becoming the UFC heavyweight champion of the world, took a massive risk in leaving the UFC to go out and get a pro boxing fight, arguably beats the so-called best heavyweight in the world, and then gets a matchup with another former champion. If he wins that fight, I think we can all stop talking about Tyson Fury, and we need to start talking about Francis Ngannou being the greatest heavyweight in the world. Just a year ago, all the naysayers were saying that Francis Ngannou made a massive mistake. Dana White was basically laughing at him, and now he is scheduled to fight in what is the biggest boxing match in the world right now, coming up in just a couple of months. I'm bummed that this Fury Usyk fight isn't going to take place, but honestly, I can't say I'm all that surprised, and it's just like, it's starting to stack up now. Like, the evidence is there. Fury is who he is, man. Like, this could be a legitimate injury, but unfortunately, when you play games the way you do, people are going to have their doubts about you. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments if you think this is a legit injury and that sparring footage is actually what took place, or if you think Tyson Fury's full of shit and he just doesn't want to fight Alexander Usyk and he got his way again. Let me know.